Welcome back, Wolfpack. Verlis here, and this is how to use Mightyena. So we're going to take a quick skip over Johto since I have been going in the National Pokedex order, just to do some Hoenn Pokemon since Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire is so hype. But looking at the stats for Mightyena, Mightyena isn't so hype. That it's really mediocre stats, and we're going to have to really try to make Mightyena work. But it is actually a very potentially strong Pokemon, which is what makes this Pokemon very interesting to use. Looking at its typing, it's a pure Dark-type Pokemon, so you get the Ghost and Dark resistances, Psychic Immunity, weakness to Fighting, Bug, and Fairy, so overall very balanced with the resistances to weakness and immunity ratio and stuff, and then a lot of neutral hits, so pure Dark-type Pokemon, not bad at all. Hopping into Pokemon Showdown, we're going to kind of get like the first looks at what makes Mightyena so interesting. Mostly it's going to come from the abilities. With weaker Pokemon, sometimes they have some very strong abilities, and we have Quick Feet and Moxie on Mightyena, and we're going to be trying to making the most of those abilities. But the problem is there's a lot of Quick Feet and Moxie Pokemon that just do Mightyena's job better, and the only other thing Mightyena has going for it is really good coverage. That gives all of the elemental fangs. It also has Play Rough, Crunch, Sucker Punch, and that's going to be a Stab Sucker Punch because of the typing. So if you can get like that first Moxie boost off, if you're running a Moxie set, or if you can get like the Quick Feet going with the proper setup, it can be a very strong Pokemon. So first off, I was just thinking Adamant Nature, Quick Feet into coverage, and then we're just pretty much going to talk about the coverage options that you have. I just like Play Rough. High base power move that's just going to have a good chance of damage and hits super effective onto dragons. Now, you can also run Ice Fang instead of Play Rough. Ice Fang is going to be weaker in the situations where you're not getting the ×4, but stronger in the situations where you're getting ×4. After that, you have Crunch. Crunch is just going to be good base power, or Sucker Punch. Sucker Punch is less base power, but the priority is really good because you have a lower speed. And then because you're going to be playing with Quick Feet, throw down that Toxic Orb to proc Quick Feet since it increases your speed by 50% when you're status. And now you have a very strong Facade. After that, you know, Fire Fang, just Fire is almost a mandatory coverage with a lot of the Ferrothorn and Scizor that we see. So having this will really round you out and make you very strong. But if we could look at the stats, even with that Adamant Nature, you're barely breaking 300 on that attack, and then your speed is going to get to about a little under 360, even with that Quick Feet boost. So even with a speed boost, you're not that fast of a Pokemon, and you're still going to be taking damage from Toxic Orb, and you're going to have to pretty much try to like look for that super effective hit and pick off an opponent from there. If we look at the Moxie set, the more ideal setup is a Life Orb, but that means you're going to have almost nothing on the speed. So this is where you're going to have to look into like baton passing some speed boost into Mightyena. That could be very strong. If you're baton passing, it might be wise to carry a Focus Sash. Because if you have the Focus Sash, then that means you have a little better of a chance of switching in if you don't have a sub and being able to survive the switch in, then being able to set up from there. A Pokemon getting Swords Dance or baton pass or a speed boost or both into Mightyena is going to be very strong. Other than that, if you're not running the Baton Pass, you can go back to the Life Orb option, and then you're going to pretty much go for coverage from there. With all the coverage, setting up Sticky Web might be your best option because it's going to be like giving you that 50% boost, but by taking away from the, or not 50%, just going to take away 33% of the opponent's speed, so it's going to give you a pretty decent speed boost, and it's going to help you take out even the slightly faster Pokemon. And that's when you're looking at, you know, 306 with the Life Orb. If you can bring Mightyena in fresh, pick up a Moxie boost as a revenge kill, now you're actually looking at a very strong and intimidating Pokemon. That with that Moxie, now you're going to have over 450 speed. You're going to be playing closer to that 300 speed tier if you have the Sticky Web set up. And now you have all those Elemental Fangs, you have Sucker Punch. With this set, if you have all the speed setups, you can run Crunch for a little bit of extra damage. It's pretty much personal preference. Do you want to always have that priority to make sure you're on top of your opponent? If so, yeah, like if you get a Moxie boost or you have Swords Dance into it, Sucker Punch is going to make your opponent feel very helpless. If you just want to go for the damage with Crunches and Fangs, that works really well. This Pokemon's Strong Jaw, that would be absurd. But then also you can look, you know, the Ice Fang versus Play Rough as well. And that's pretty much Mightyena. You're going to have to like cater it a bit. With the Moxie, you're going to need to make its speed work out. With the Quick Feet, you're going to have to try to get the most out of its attack. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and that's how you use Mightyena.